A marriage is like a leaky roof. By the time you notice the drip, the attic's already flooded. I'm Jace Arnell, 34, and I manage the biggest gym in our Portland suburb. My wife Zoya thinks that makes me some kind of glorified janitor. She's wrong about a lot of things. Jace, I'm going to book club tonight, Zoya announced, not looking up from her phone. She worked in marketing for some tech startup, always talking about brand synergy and consumer touchpoints. Right now, she was touching her phone screen like it held the secrets of the universe. Which book this week? I asked, knowing the answer would be vague. Oh, contemporary fiction. You wouldn't like it. That was Zoya, always assuming I was too simple for her sophisticated world. What she didn't know was that I'd been watching. The late-night texting, the hushed phone calls, the way she'd started mentioning Hayes Rellin's name in casual conversation. Hayes was her ex from college, recently divorced, working as a real estate agent in town. Smooth talker, expensive suits, the kind of guy who called everyone buddy while calculating how to use them. My phone buzzed. A text from Kina Vexler, one of Zoya's friends. Drinks tonight? Vara's coming too. Kina and Vara Rovell were Zoya's social circle. Glamorous, sharp-tongued women who thrived on drama. They'd always been friendly to me, maybe a little too friendly. Zoya never seemed to notice. Actually, I might grab drinks with some people from the gym, I said. Zoya's head snapped up. People? Kina texted. Vara's going too. They asked if I wanted to join. For the first time in weeks, I had Zoya's full attention. Her jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. That's nice of them. Yeah, they're good people, unlike some folks around here. I headed upstairs to change, leaving Zoya staring at her phone. In our bedroom, I noticed something odd, a wine glass on her nightstand with lipstick stains. Dark red, not Zoya's usual pink shade. Beside it, a business card. Hayes Rellin, Premium Properties. Well, it wasn't mine. My shade is more existential dread. The copper kettle was packed when I arrived. Kina waved me over to a corner booth where she sat with Vara and another woman I didn't recognize. Jace, you made it! Kina smiled, sliding over to make room. She was wearing a black dress that probably cost more than my monthly car payment. This is Tara. She works with Vara. Tara looked like she collected gossip the way some people collected stamps. Her eyes lit up when she saw me. Oh, you're Zoya's husband. I've heard so much about you. All good, I hope. Of course, Vara laughed, raising her martini, though we don't see you out much anymore. Zoya keeps me busy, I lied smoothly, but she's at book club tonight, so here I am. The three women exchanged glances. Kina leaned closer. Jace, can I ask you something personal? Shoot. Are you and Zoya doing okay? She seems, different lately. I took a long sip of my drink, choosing my words carefully. Marriage has its seasons. Sometimes it's spring, sometimes it's winter. Right now feels like late fall. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. Tara practically vibrated with curiosity. What does that mean? It means some people start looking for warmer weather elsewhere. Vara's eyes widened. Jace, are you saying... I'm not saying anything specific, just that I've noticed certain patterns. Phone calls that end when I walk in the room. New interest in old friends from college. The table went quiet. Finally, Kina spoke. We care about you both. If there's anything we can do... Actually, there is. Mind if I take a selfie? Zoya always complains I don't document our social life enough. They eagerly posed with me, Kina's hand on my shoulder, Vara leaning in close. I posted it immediately. Great night out with amazing friends. Sometimes you find family in unexpected places. Within minutes, my phone started buzzing with likes and comments. I knew Zoya would see it. She monitored social media like a hawk. "You know," Tara said, studying her phone, "Hayes Rellin was at Martini's earlier, with a woman who looked a lot like Zoya." The pieces clicked into place. Zoya wasn't at book club. She was with Hayes, probably thinking she was being clever. Meanwhile, I was building my own narrative, the devoted husband, supported by loyal friends, while his wife played games. My phone rang. Zoya. "Having fun?" Her voice was tight. "Yeah, great group. We're thinking of making this a regular thing." "Why?" "Just wondering. When will you be home?" "Not sure. Kena mentioned something about karaoke later. You know how these nights go." Silence. Then, "Fine. Don't wait up." She hung up. I looked at the three women who'd been listening with obvious interest. "Ladies," I said, raising my glass, "I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship." 2 weeks later, I was documenting everything. Screenshots of Zoya's social media activity, photos of receipts from restaurants I'd never been to, timestamps of her comings and goings. The gym's security cameras had accidentally captured Hayes' BMW in our driveway twice when I wasn't home. Rory, my assistant manager, knocked on my office door. "Boss, you've got visitors." Kena and Vara walked in, looking serious. "We need to talk," Kena said, closing the door behind her. "About Zoya and Hayes." I leaned back in my chair. "I'm listening." "Tara saw them at the Riverside Hotel last Tuesday," Vara said. "They weren't exactly discussing real estate. And yesterday, Zoya called me asking weird questions about you," Kena added. "Like whether you'd ever been inappropriate with us, if you had anger issues. It felt like she was fishing for ammunition." "Ammunition for what?" "Divorce proceedings," Vara said bluntly. "She's trying to build a case that you're the problem, make herself look like the victim." I felt something cold settle in my chest. Not anger, calculation. "What did you tell her?" "The truth, that you're one of the most decent guys we know, that she's lucky to have you." Kena pulled out her phone. "We're willing to go on record, Jace. Affidavits, witness statements, whatever you need. This isn't right." I stood up, walking to the window that overlooked the gym floor. Below, people were working out, focused on their goals, pushing themselves to be better. It was honest work, honest effort. "I appreciate the offer," I said finally, "but I think there's a better way to handle this." "What do you mean?" I turned back to them, smiling for the first time in weeks. "Zoya thinks she's playing chess while I'm playing checkers, but what she doesn't realize is that I've been playing a completely different game." That evening, I found what I'd been looking for. A second phone hidden in Zoya's closet, behind her winter coats. The text messages were all there, months of planning, coordinating meetings, explicit discussions about their future together, and photos, lots of photos. The final message was from Hayes. "When are you going to tell him? We can't keep sneaking around forever." Zoya's response: "Soon. I'm working on making him look bad first. Kena and Vara will back me up. They've always thought he was beneath me." Wrong again, sweetheart. I scheduled a client appreciation event at the gym for the following Saturday. Food trucks, live music, free consultations. I made sure to invite everyone: neighbors, business associates, social media followers, including Hayes Rellin, who I'd found through his real estate website. "Premium properties should definitely be here," I told him over the phone. "Lots of potential clients looking to upgrade their lifestyle." Hayes took the bait. He arrived in his BMW, wearing his most expensive suit, bringing business cards and his practiced smile. "Jace, great event, buddy. Really impressive turnout." "Thanks, Hayes. Actually, I have something special planned. Would you mind helping me with a presentation?" I led him to the center of the gym, where I'd set up a microphone and screen. The crowd gathered, curious. "Ladies and gentlemen," I announced, "I want to talk about loyalty today, about trust, about what happens when people think they can play games with other people's lives. Hayes's smile faltered. Jace, what are you? See, I've been married for 6 years. 6 years of building a life with someone I thought I could trust. But recently, I discovered that trust was misplaced. I pulled out the burner phone, connecting it to the display screen. The text messages appeared, enlarged for everyone to see. The crowd gasped. Hayes went pale. You can't do this. This is private. Private? I laughed. Nothing's private when you're sneaking around in someone else's marriage. Tell me, Hayes, do you always go after married women or is my wife special? Jace, please. Oh, I'm just getting started. I clicked to the photos. Not explicit, but intimate enough to make the situation crystal clear. Hayes and Zoya in restaurants, hotels, even in our own home. Ladies and gentlemen, my wife Zoya and her old college friend Hayes Rellin, who, by the way, was supposed to be selling us a house. I guess he decided to take the current one instead. The crowd was riveted. Some were recording on their phones. I could see the social media posts already spreading. Hayes tried to leave, but the crowd had formed a natural barrier. He was trapped in the center of his own humiliation. The beautiful part, I continued, is that Zoya thought she was so clever. She even tried to turn our mutual friends against me, claiming I was the problem. Unfortunately for her, real friends don't abandon you based on lies. Keena and Vara stepped forward, flanking me. We stand with Jace, Keena announced. Zoya tried to manipulate us, but we've seen the truth. Hayes Rellin is a predator who targets married women, Vara added. This community should know what kind of man he really is. Hayes finally found his voice. This is slander. I'll sue you. With what evidence? Everything I've shown is documented fact. Your own words, your own actions. But please, call your lawyer. I'm sure they'll love the publicity. The crowd began to disperse, but the damage was done. Hayes stumbled toward his car, his reputation in ruins. By evening, the video would be viral in our community. My phone buzzed. A text from Zoya. We need to talk, now. I smiled at the screen and typed back, I'll be home soon. We definitely need to talk. Zoya was waiting in our living room when I got home, her face a mask of fury and panic. How could you do that to me? She screamed. In front of everyone. You've ruined everything. I ruined everything? I sat down calmly, still riding the high of the afternoon's victory. Zoya, you've been having an affair for months. You tried to turn our friends against me. You were planning to divorce me and make me look like the villain. But somehow, I'm the one who ruined things. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. How was it supposed to happen? You and Hayes ride off into the sunset while I'm left looking like the bad guy? Sorry, sweetheart. I don't play that game. She started crying, but they were angry tears, not remorseful ones. Those women poisoned you against me. Keena and Vara always hated me. Actually, they tried to protect you, right up until you tried to use them as weapons against me. That's when they chose sides. My phone rang. Hayes. Don't answer it, Zoya pleaded. I put it on speaker. Hayes's voice filled the room, shaking with rage. You think you're so smart, Jace? You think you've won? I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to sue you for everything you have. I'm going to… Hayes, I interrupted. You're on speaker. Zoya's here. Why don't you tell her how you're going to take care of her now that your reputation is trashed? Silence. Then, Zoya, this is complicated now. Maybe we should take a break until things cool down. Zoya's face crumpled. Hayes, what are you saying? I'm saying this is more complicated than I thought. I need time to figure things out. He hung up. Zoya stared at the phone in disbelief. Congratulations, I said. You just learned what Hayes Rellin is really worth. The moment things got difficult, he abandoned you. Just like he'll abandon the next married woman who catches his eye. I hate you, she whispered. No, you hate yourself. Because deep down, you know I'm right. You threw away 6 years of marriage for a man who won't even stand by you when it matters. Over the next few days, the fallout was spectacular. The video from the gym went viral in our local community. Hayes' real estate business tanked as clients canceled contracts. Zoya was asked to take a leave of absence from her job while they assessed the situation. But the best part came Wednesday evening. I was at the gym, working late, when Kina burst through the doors. "Jace, you have to see this!" She showed me her phone. A local news article. Real estate agent under investigation for ethics violations. Apparently, Hayes had been involved in some questionable dealings, inflated appraisals, kickbacks from contractors, possibly even fraud. The public attention from our situation had prompted several former clients to come forward with complaints. "It gets better," Kina said, scrolling down. "Look at this comment." It was from Zoya's boss. "We are conducting a thorough review of Ms. Arnell's professional conduct and associations. The company maintains the highest ethical standards." They're going to fire her, I realized. Already did. Vara heard it from someone in their HR department, effective immediately. I should have felt vindicated. Instead, I felt something else. Completion. The game was over, and I'd won more thoroughly than I'd ever imagined. The final confrontation came Friday night. I was closing up the gym when Zoya appeared in the parking lot, looking haggard and desperate. "Jace, please, we need to fix this." I locked the front door and turned to face her. "Fix what exactly?" "Everything. The marriage, my job, Hayes, it's all falling apart." "That's what happens when you build something on lies, Zoya. It collapses." "I made a mistake. A big mistake. But we can work through this." I studied her face in the parking lot lights. 6 years of marriage, and I was seeing her clearly for the first time. Not the sophisticated marketing executive, not the woman who thought she was too good for a gym manager. Just someone who'd gambled everything on a fantasy and lost. "You know what the funny thing is?" I said. "I would have worked through almost anything. If you'd come to me 6 months ago and said you were unhappy, that you wanted to try counseling or take a break or even separate, I would have listened. But instead you chose to lie, cheat, and try to destroy me in the process. I know I messed up, but Hayes is gone, my job is gone. Everyone in town thinks I'm terrible. Isn't that enough punishment?" "This isn't about punishment, Zoya. It's about consequences. You made choices, and now you're living with the results." She grabbed my arm. "So what happens now? Do we try to rebuild, or is this really over?" I gently removed her hand. "It's over. It was over the moment you decided Hayes was worth more than our marriage. Everything that's happened since then has just been the cleanup. Where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? That's not my problem anymore. You're a smart woman, Zoya. You'll figure it out." I got in my truck and started the engine. Through the windshield, I could see her standing alone in the parking lot, finally understanding that her actions had consequences she couldn't manipulate or control. As I drove home, to the house that would soon be just mine, I felt something I hadn't experienced in months. Peace. Not happiness, not satisfaction, just the quiet calm that comes from knowing the truth has finally won. The house always wins, they say, but sometimes so does the guy who's been paying the mortgage.